Hey, Lee Tribe and anyone else new to the channel. My name is Lisa from PassiveShirtProfits.com. And today, you guys, we're going to be talking about Q4, fourth quarter, which is my favorite time of the year for print on demand because the demand for everything goes up because of Halloween and then Christmas gift buying. So after coming off a low September, which my Septembers are always lower compared to the rest of the year, but as soon as October starts, it's like things start ramping up, and that's exactly what's happened this year. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and strategies for merch by Amazon. Now, why am I not talking about Redbubble or some of the others? Quite honestly, I don't do anything different on the other platforms. And even though my sales increase across multiple platforms for Q4, pretty much everywhere I upload, there's going to be an increase in sales, but I just don't do anything special. For Amazon, that's where my money is. Now, for Redbubble, I actually sell a higher percentage of my designs that I upload, maybe like 30 to 35%. But on Amazon, even though I only sell 18 to 20% of what I upload, I still make more money, right? Because it's volume. But it's that 80-20 rule. You're going to make 80% of your income from 20% of your designs. And that is true for me. And that's true for most people that do print on demand. So real quick before I get into this, you guys, for whatever reason, a lot of you all left comments on that last video and they never showed up. I saw them in my notifications, but when I clicked your comment, they were gone. And I know everybody can't be deleting their comments. I checked my spam filters. They weren't in there. So I'm not ignoring you guys. It's just I couldn't reply to the comment for whatever reason. So hopefully it's a glitch and they'll get it fixed. All right, tip 1. Increase the prices of your best sellers. So these are your designs on Merch by Amazon that probably have multiple 5-star reviews. First of all, when you have more reviews on a product, you almost like have a license to charge more. People tend to trust the product more and they're more likely to spend a little more if they see a lot of reviews. So you should be doing that even if it's not Q4. And then also when it comes to Q4 with gift buying, people are much more likely to spend a little more on a gift for someone typically than they are for themselves. I know I'm like that. So if I'm buying something and I go, oh my goodness, that's going to be perfect for my best friend, I don't really care as much about the price unless it's just absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of people feel that way. So if you're uncomfortable with bumping up your prices, what I always tell people is to start small. So start off with 50 cents. So if you're selling something right now for $19.99 and it's got like 25-star reviews, just bump it up to $20.49. I know for a long time I was really scared to go above that $19.99 because I had always read like that's the ideal price point. Whatever. That's why you have to test, because I have shirts on Amazon, standard shirts, selling for $23. But they have a lot of 5-star reviews. That's the key. I would never start off at $23 unless it was just a very, very, very detailed design. Now, what about the price low strategy? I know a lot of you use that, especially on lower tiers, because you're just trying to get some sales. I totally understand that strategy. But the reason a lot of you all have to use that strategy is many times you are in these very competitive spaces. So you're trying to price low just so you can compete. Well, you can also target much lower competition spaces. Now, there's not as much demand, so it might not sell as much, but you'll still have a better chance of getting a sale. And when you're on a lower tier, you just want to get those sales so you can tier up. So it's not necessarily so much about volume when you're in those lower tiers. You just want to learn how to sell. So if you're in a lower competition space and if it's a really good design, you'll find you can charge $19, $20 for it and it'll sell just fine. So I understand the price low strategy and I know a lot of you rely on that in those lower tiers, but just remember there's also other strategies you can try as well. Tip number 2, and this is for my new Merch by Amazon sellers. Those of you on that 10 tier, that 25 tier, you might be thinking like, how many slots should I allocate for like the standard tees, the long sleeves, the hoodies? Trust me on this. Even though we're talking about winter, cold weather, standard tees still outsell the other products by far. Now, there is a greater chance you're going to sell hoodies, long sleeves, sweatshirts. Trust me. Your girl loves hoodies because you can price hoodies super high, like over $40, and they do sell, and you will get a nice royalty, like over $10. I had a sale a couple of days ago. Somebody bought 15 hoodies. So I got like 150 plus royalty on that one sale. Craziness, right? So yes, people do buy more hoodies, more long sleeves. But when you have limited slots, remember, your goal is to tier up. You want to give yourself the best chance to sell. So standard tees sell the most. And that's why I would recommend going in those lower competition spaces to give yourself a better chance of selling instead of only trying to compete with those really popular high demand niches. Now, here's a caveat to that. Let's say there's a hoodie keyword. Maybe it's a trend coming up and you notice there's only 70 hoodies. Sometimes you might want to take a chance on that. But for the most part, when you're on that 10 tier, 25 tier, you need to be using your slots for standard tees. You have a much better chance of selling those. Tip number 3. Don't forget about the lesser known occupations like the dental hygienists, the zookeepers, the animal breeders, the roofers. Now, these niches are probably not going to sell much the rest of the year, but there's going to be an increase in demand because people are buying gifts for these people. And once again, when you're on a lower tier and you're just trying to tier up, you just want to get that sale. Don't worry so much about trying to create a bestseller in a very high competitive niche where everybody else is. You just want to give yourself a chance to sell. So try out those lower, lesser known occupations and try your luck there as opposed to only going after the high demand, trending spaces. Mix up your strategy. And I was just doing some research and I noticed that there was a zookeeper shirt, a couple of them doing really well. And it's because of Halloween. There's apparently some idea where people are drawing like the zookeeper outfit on the shirt, which tends to be very popular for Halloween on Merch by Amazon. I've also seen that for Christmas designs like snowmen with the dots going down the shirt. But yeah, those lesser known niches, I have some keywords that I sell in Q4. They never sell the rest of the year, but hey, it still adds up. And if you're on a lower tier, you just want to get those sales so you can tier up. Don't feel like you always have to go with the trends. Tip number 4. Now, this is something that discourages a lot of people, and I'm just going to let you know. There are a lot of returns on the Christmas themed items on Amazon. So if you do like a snowman shirt or a shirt that's just like a festive design for the holiday, people take advantage of Amazon's return policy, unfortunately. And you can tell they're taking advantage of it because they tend to return it after the holiday is over, right after it's over. And a lot of people will say, that's why I don't like to do like holiday designs because of the returns. Sometimes I get discouraged by that, but then when I think about it like this, I'm still making a profit. So as long as I'm making a profit, I don't really care. So it's up to you how you want to approach this. And if you are discouraged by that, I always tell people then just focus on the gift giving niches. So again, the occupations, those lesser known niches that people aren't necessarily targeting, and you won't have to worry as much about people returning those because most people are buying those for gifts. All right, tip number 5. Now, I'm still traumatized from 2017, you guys, and I don't think this is going to happen again, but I just wanted to make you aware. Back in 2017 or 18, I can't remember which year, Amazon ran out of black standard tees. And it was early too. It was like December 5th or something crazy like that. So because of that, never, ever, ever only select black or only select a couple of colors. A lot of people like to only select black because they want to force that color in the thumbnail. I think Amazon pretty much forces black most of the time anyway, but that's not a good idea because if they happen to run out of black, then your shirt's just going to drop off and not be available. So it doesn't hurt to select some of those lesser common colors like that really light gray or the yellow, as long as it looks good with your design. I always like to have a couple of those in there just in case some of the common colors like black, red, and green run out. Again, I don't think this is going to happen again, but at the same time, Amazon, they do things sometimes as a very large company that surprise me. I'm like, okay, y'all didn't prepare for this. Like, this is Amazon. So I'm a little traumatized by that. So just keep that in mind. Never only just select black. They're going to show black most of the time anyway. So don't worry about that. All right, tip number 6, and this is for search engine optimization. So titling your tees. A lot of people, when they title their tees, they always put their main keyword at the very front of the listing, because that's oftentimes what we're taught. Put your most important keyword at the front of the title. I would certainly recommend you switch that up, only because the algorithm is constantly changing and tweaking things. And because these algorithms are often adjusting for keyword spammers have a tendency to put the main keyword in the front, and then they repeat that keyword too many times throughout their listing. So be careful of doing that. So what I often do is I experiment with putting my main phrase at the beginning, the middle, the end, and I never mention my main keyword more than once in each section of the listing. So if I'm doing a table tennis shirt, I'm only going to list it once in the title, once in the bullet, and then maybe once down in the description, if I even put a description. I know I should for Google SEO, but a lot of times I don't. Or you can just copy what you had in the bullets. I was looking up ping pong t-shirts as an example for this video, and one shirt that showed up did not even have ping pong in the title. It was table tennis, because table tennis is a synonym, right? And so table tennis was converting for that term, and it's all about those conversions. So don't forget to do research for synonyms and words that are related to your niche, because that'll give you more opportunity to be found. But also switch up your keywords. Try not to repeat the same phrase, especially your most important phrase, too often, because I do worry that they might penalize people for that, especially now. Maybe not on older shirts that have a lot of reviews, but going forward, just make sure your titles and your descriptions read like a human would read it. You shouldn't say ping pong women's ping pong t-shirt. Like, there's no reason to mention ping pong twice in the title. But I've noticed with doing research, many times the main keyword that I type won't even be listed in the main title, because an alternate related keyword is converting. And it's all about those conversions. A lot of people think it's only about what's in the title. It's also the conversions. So be on the lookout for those related terms that could be related to your design. So that's it, you guys. Let me know if you have any questions about Q4. Good luck, have fun, enjoy designing, and I will talk to you in the next video. By the way, if you're new to print on demand, be sure to check out my complete guide for beginners. It is incredibly detailed with examples and guidance, perfect for a newbie or if you're struggling with your sales. Simply visit passiveshirtprofits.com, scroll down to the bottom, and click the thumbnail. See you there.